Hey guys, Shion from Shirokuma CCG here today, and today, well, not today, more like a couple days ago, Vanguard Overdress is officially released in the TCG, the English version. Unfortunately, I was part of the sector that got a delay, so yikes. But it's okay, at least I got my product in the end, so it's okay. So today we have a box opening, product opening of Start Deck 01, Yu Yu Kondo, Start Deck 02, Danji Momoyama, Start Deck number 3, Toya Ibata, and along with the guys, we also got the girls, Start Deck 04, Megumi Okura, as well as Start Deck number 5, Tomari Seto. So originally I was gonna make a Japanese version of these two start decks as well. Well, not make, do a box opening for the Japanese version. But unfortunately my mail carrier had different plans for me. So I wasn't able to get my shipment until I think it was like one day before I was able to pick up the English version. So I thought, not really much of a point, unfortunately. Which also kind of sucked because I also have my Japanese SD01 boxes, but we'll just have to wait for the English version. Oh, so the plan for today's video is that since we already did a video on the boys, we're just gonna go quickly through them, explaining their strategies and what comes in them, and then we're gonna try to put more emphasis on the on the two that we didn't get to do in Japanese. Okay, sounds good, right? Now before we begin, just remember, I know on the online Vanguard community, people argue who's best girl, Megumi or Tomari. Just remember, the best girl is always gonna be Yu Yu. This is the hill I'm gonna die on, folks. Yu Yu, best girl. With that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so as usual, we're gonna go ahead and start with numeric order. So that means Start Deck 01, Yu Yu Kondo, Divine Holy Dragon. The packaging is obviously a little different from the Japanese version. Personally, I like this better because if you guys recalled my Japanese video, I had a difficulty opening the box. But this time we should be fine as a standard trial deck box. So let's go ahead and get to it. See, got the little tape off the first try. So for Vanguard overdress, for the Yu Yu start deck, which, the heck? Alright, new packaging. Oh, okay. So unlike the Japanese version or typical trial decks or special editions for Vanguard, instead of having plastic, we just have some cardboard as well as just the deck wrapped up. That's fine. That's very interesting. So anyway, as mentioned before, this Yu Yu's deck focuses on the new mechanic for Dragon Empire, which is overdress, placing the specified cards over Trickstar. So various varinas in there. So in the Japanese version, 4 Nirvanas, 1 being foil, 4 Reiyus, none, and the rest of the cards are also not foiled. Then 4 Renos. The big advantage of it being in English is that I can read the card names. 1 Sunrise Egg, and then in the booster set, you also get different variations of Virina, which are pretty good. We'll go over those in next week's videos, or the coming videos. Then you get 4 Virina, 3 Iron Ball Dragon and Keyboard, and then you get 4 Sentinels, Escort Stealth Dragon Hayashi Kaze, 4 copies of Trickstar, 1 copy of Spiritual King of Determination Old Barrio, the overtrigger, which I think is actually a little underrated. I think it's pretty good actually. Better than some of the overtriggers right now. 4 criticals, Blaze Maiden Zone. Zonene? I don't know. Zone. 4 copies of Blaze Staff Monk, Chokusha. Chokusha? How am I pronouncing it separately? 3 front triggers, Blaze Fist Monk, Nico. 4 copies of the heel trigger, Blaze Maiden Rona. And 3 copies of Sunburst Evolution. So yeah, just like the Japanese version. The contents are the same. The package is a little different, but that's fine. And let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Moving on right along, we have Start Deck 02. Danji Momoyama. Did I scratch my map? Hopefully I didn't. If I did, manager sounds like to kill me. And then removing it. Oh, it's actually easier to remove like that. Pew pew. Just be careful not to damage the cards. Pew. Open this right up. Okay. So for Violence Bruce, the next goal is to actually yeah, we're gonna speed this along. Just because we did this one already. The next goal overall is to survive the first initial grade 3 ride, because after which Violence Bruce gives you Final Rush from that point onward, which unlocks most of your card's abilities, which are normally like power-ups or like additional soul charging abilities. It's a pretty solid deck. If you guys watched my video versus Soupson, I didn't use it that well. But yeah, overall it's pretty good. I'm curious to see how they tend to improve it later on in the future. And Donji is still a pretty good character in the anime. I like how, like, in the anime, they thought that because he retired as a card fighter, he abandoned them, but he actually went fishing for a couple of days. Granted, as technically a valid excuse to not be able to answer your phone because you're in the middle of the ocean, you know, there's no cell signal over there. But you should have at least told your friends that you're gonna go fishing for like 3 or 4 days, right? They're gonna get worried about you. So guys, remember to check up on your friends and to also let your friends know that you're doing fine, so that nobody worries about you abandoning them or your abandoned amusement park. I have no idea where I'm going on with that tangent. Just try to have a little bit of fun. And yeah. So even though these cards don't come foiled, they do have a possibility of coming foiled in SS01, which lets all these cards come foil, or even SP, so you can max ready the deck by buying a bunch of those boxes. Overall, for Violence Bruce, I do prefer the other guy. I think Master of Gravity, I think his name is. He's a guy that kind of got shafted in the anime where he just appeared. He looked important, and then got destroyed in like maybe like 5 minutes. But overall, the Violence Bruce deck, just the basic gist of it, is to try to build up your soul. The magic number for him is 5 cards in soul, so that when he attacks during Final Rush, which is a turn after the first grade 3 turn, that you have one Vanguard circle, you can Soul Blast 5 to stand your front row rear guards, and also other cards gain abilities by having 5 cards in soul. So yeah, try to be careful with your soul, manage it wisely, and Violence Bruce will respond accordingly. Okay, guys. So for our last start deck, we have start deck 05 Tomari Seto. This one is the Brantgate. Did I pronounce it Brantgate? I don't know. With Vanguard, I'm finding out every day that I'm pronouncing things weirdly. So who knows? So Tomari's deck is part of the Brantgate Nation. How come this one's hard to get off? Huh. The other four were like pretty easy. Oh, there we go. So her deck focuses on using a set order card, which is basically like a set spell in Buddy Fight or like a permanent card. There's no way to really get rid of it right now, but its main ability is that little plastic got stuck in my arm. Little bugger. Anywho, so ignore my arm for sure. Now, the purpose of the deck is basically to put your opponent's cards on top of the jail card, imprisoning them, and getting certain abilities based on if they have cards in the prison. The opponent can call them back during their main phase, because that's when you can normal call, by Soul Blasting 1 or Counter Blasting 1. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into it. So first we have Aurora Battle Princess Seraph Snow. And you get 4 copies of it, 1 being foil and the rest being common. And her ability is, during your turn, if 1 or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, this unit gets 10,000 power, and if there are 3 or more cards in prison, it gets Drive +1. So that's a really powerful ability. Act, Vanguard, or Rearguard Circle, Counterblast 1, choose 2 of your opponent's rearguards and imprison them in your prison. So taking them to jail. So normally you want a Persona ride with your extra grade 3s, but seeing as it's a rearguard ability as well, I don't see why not that you play as a rearguard as well, to get more resources for your prison and to minus your opponent's resources by sending them prison. So next you have 4 copies of Aurora Battle Princess Reset Pink, and her ability is, when this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, your opponent chooses a card from their hand, and imprisons it into your prison. If 1 or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, this unit gains 2,000 power on the Vanguard Circle. Oh, that's really good. So your opponent also loses cards from their hand as well. Next, you have 4 copies of Aurora Battle Princess. What was this? Sister. Why am I saying sisters? Kayanet Blue. When this unit is placed on Vanguard Circle, search your deck for up to 1 prison card. So it searches the prison order for you, so you don't even need it in your opening hand. Reveal it to your opponent and add to your hand and shuffle your deck. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, if 1 or more of your opponent's cards are in prison, Counterblast 1 and Soul Blast 1 and draw a card. Not bad. Not bad at all. And then you get the starter, Aurora Battle Princess Ruby Red. When this unit is rolled upon, if you win second, draw a card. So next you get 4 copies of Alert Guard Gunner. When this unit hits a Vanguard, choose up to 2 of your opponent's rearguards and imprison them in your prison. Imprison them in your prison. Why not just say put them in your prison? Whatever. Next we have 4 copies of Security Patroller. When this unit is placed on Rearguard Circle, Soul Blast 1, choose 1 of your opponent's rearguards and imprison them in your prison. Okay, not bad. Pretty cheap cost for prisoning 1 of your opponent's cards, just Soul Blast 1. Next you get 3 copies of a 10k vanilla jeweled combination Julian. Looks like a Sentai robot. And then you get 4 copies of Automatic Caution, Rearguard Circle, Garden Circle. If 1 or more of your opponent's cards are imprisoned in your prison, this unit gains 2,000 power and 5,000 shield. Okay, so a defensive card. So forcing your opponent to give their own resources in order for you not to get the bonus power or defense. And next you get 4 copies of Craggy Beast Gear Grand Sentinel, and he does look a crab, which is bad for me because I'm allergic, but I still eat crab cakes. And then you have one copy of Olbaria, surprise surprise. 4 criticals, Aurora Battle Princess, Loracel. I feel like these battle princesses are just basically Sentai as well. And then 4 draw triggers, Aurora Battle Princess Amy Orange. Oh, she looks pretty cute. 3 front triggers, Aurora Battle Princess Front Rose. Well, I guess the color of her hair is rose color. Then 4 heel triggers, Aurora Battle Princess True Screen. And 2 copies of Galaxy Central Prison Galactoise. After a set order is played, put into your order zone. Rest one of your units to play this card. Okay. When this card is put into your order zone, soul charge 3. Okay, so it builds up your resources for you. Very nice, very nice. And order zone, when your opponent can normal call a rear guard, they can perform one of the following. If they do so, no, Soul Blast 1. If they do so, they choose one of their imprisoned cards and call to rear guard circle. Or Counter Blast 1. If they do so, they can choose 2 of their imprisoned cards and call them to rear guard circle. So you are putting these cards on top. You're putting your opponent's cards on top of these cards in order to weaken their resources, but they can get it back. So it's kind of like a balanced version of binding their cards or locking their cards. So yeah, that's a pretty interesting card deck to have. Very deadly. It'll bonk you and you'll go to jail. And let's go ahead and move on to our little wrap up. Okay guys, that was 5 of the Vanguard overdress start decks that we went over today. Personally, my favorite one is still the Dragon Empire because this channel is Team Yu. Just saying. But I am interested in various other decks such as Violence Bruce, because Violence Bruce actually does remind me of one of my favorite Pokemon actually, Regigigas, who has a slow start ability. So after 4 turns, so I think it's after 5 turns for Regigigas, he gains a super power up. Just like how in Violence Bruce, he had to survive 3 turns to get that power up. But I'm also interested in decks that are not featured in the start decks, such as, believe it or not, I'm actually looking forward to Eugene. I know overall the deck isn't that strong, but I think it has some potential later on in later sets, especially with some cards that they announced already. But I'm also looking forward to Stoichia. What's his name? Zagorg? The one that focuses on order cards. That one I'm looking forward to a lot because I do like the idea of order cards when they first announced it during the V series, and I'm glad they maintained that, or they brought it back in the overdress or the D series. But yeah, feel free to let us know what you guys are looking forward to in Vanguard overdress in the comment section below. What decks do you want to play? What decks do you think is going to be a major pain to play against? And yeah, with that being said, if you guys like what you see here today, feel free to subscribe and like for more videos. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook and Twitter for our latest updates on our videos, as well as follow us on Twitch for some Vanguard Zero action. And until next time, I hope you guys stay safe, stay hydrated, and have lots of fun card fights now with the D series. But until next time, catch you guys later. Bye bye.